Stay with me to the end, because I share 3 mind-blowing environmental facts from this week's news that you will not believe ever made it into the mainstream. So, top 10 weekly insights. Starting with number 1, Trump repeals landmark US climate ruling under endangerment finding. So who's this relevant for? Policy risk and credibility challenge for climate-leading brands with US exposure. The US rollback on greenhouse gas regulation sharpens global policy risk, increasing transition and reputational exposure for brands with US operations or supply chains, especially energy-intensive producers and large advertisers positioning themselves as climate leaders. Number 2, global renewables and clean power surge. China, Africa, UK. There's corporate action. Who's this relevant for? Benchmark for corporate ambition and clean power procurements. There's been rapid deployment of renewables and record UK auctions showing that electricity decarbonisation is economically mainstream, putting pressure on large manufacturers and media groups to match grid decarbonisation with robust science-based targets and credible clean power procurement. Number 3, climate risk, nature loss and adaptation enter the core business agenda. This is relevant for board level risk for any company that's £50 million turnover or more. New IBES findings on nature, undervaluation of UK flood impacts and a wave of adaptation laws underlying that physical climate and nature risks are now board level financial issues demanding integrated risk management from corporates over £50 million turnover. Number 4, data centres, AI and digital infrastructure face environmental scrutiny. This is relevant for major footprint hotspots for media marketing and tech-reliant firms. The rise of environmental disputes against UK data centres, concern over AI-driven electricity demands and the need for clean energy-aligned infrastructure means media advertising and tech-heavy businesses must treat digital growth as a major part of their net zero strategy. Number 5, food, farming and land use policy are tightened. The EU nature restoration, regenerative agriculture. And who is this relevant for? There's been direct pressure on food and beverage sourcing and farming partners. Denmark's €1 billion nature restoration subsidies and the business case emerging for regenerative agriculture show that food and beverage companies will be pushed faster towards nature positive sourcing, soil health metrics and farm transition partnerships. Number 6, sustainable marketing, green claims and junk food ad rules. This is relevant for stricter guardrails on what brands can say in ads. New UK junk food advertising restrictions and the EU's Empowering Consumers Directive on green claims signal a tougher regime for how brands talk about health and sustainability, raising litigation and trust risks for media, marketing and FMCG players that do not evidence their claims. Number 7, plant-based milk labelling and consumer trends. This is relevant. The rules and language now shape alternative protein growth, the Oatly milk rooney, and discussion of plant-based opportunities in the wake of junk food ad bans highlight that regulation, not just taste, is shaping alternative protein growth paths, so food and beverage brands must design both products and language to fit evolving rules. Number 8, corporate climate leadership, tax and finance. UN talks, Green Business Awards, ESG in finance. This is relevant because capital access and reputation tied to climate performance. Move on a UN tax corporation treaty, growing ESG expectations from financiers and the UK Green Business Awards narrative show that access to capital and reputational advantage are increasingly tied to transparent climate and nature performance for larger corporates. Number 9, AI in business and labour markets, including media use of AI. Relevance is to efficiency gains with workforce and emissions trade-offs. From Anthropic's record funding and AI coding tools to AI for the people courses and publishers experimenting with AI, large firms are expected to deploy AI for efficiency while managing workforce impacts, ethics, and emissions from AI use, particularly acute in the media and marketing-heavy users. Number 10, critical minerals, energy security, and the geopolitics shaping the net zero transition. This is relevant for long-term supply chain and investment risk. The US and China competition over critical minerals, Europe's strategic autonomy push, and mining in Africa underline that supply chain security for batteries, EVs, and clean tech is now strategic risk for big business planning long-term decarbonisation investments. So, top 3 mind-blowing environmental facts from this week's news. Fact 1, despite the US scrapping a key climate protection rule, Africa's solar capacity jumped 17% in the single year, with 20 countries hitting record solar imports. Fact 2, China's emissions may already be falling because of its clean power build-out, even while many Western economies are still arguing about whether to speed up. Fact 3, a single program tackling neglected tropical diseases in Nigeria has been treating around 100 million people a year, unlocking an estimated $19 billion in potential economic gains by 2030. So this is where I'd like to call for interviews. I'm looking for business leaders and sustainability experts. I'm conducting targeted research in the sustainability space to uncover what truly motivates sustainability experts like you to step up as referees or ambassadors, helping us identify the real drivers behind advocacy for net zero and sustainable growth. Would you join me for a quick 20-minute online interview to share your insights on pains, barriers, and incentives that could spark referrals in your network? As a thanks, I'll share the full research outcomes, revealing key trends and motivations, and where fitting, provide a LinkedIn endorsement highlighting your expertise. This is no sales pitch, just mutual value. Sound good? Comment or DM me to schedule. Thanks so much for listening, and I hope you like the new setting. I thought, as my 9-year-old daughter said, I can see why you're doing this. It's talking about environmental news in nature. Thank you.